This is really something special. So there's a pastor by the name of Greg Locke, and he is from the Global Vision Bible Church in Tennessee. And he is as right-wing as it gets and as big of a conspiracy theorist as it gets. He is going to absolutely scream at his congregants, I believe that's the right word, that they shouldn't get vaccinated, they shouldn't wear a mask, and he throws in a little bit of QAnon sprinkles on top just to hit us with all the greatest hits.
I've been right about all of it! We've been right about all of it! Woo! Yes! Yes! These wicked fools don't win in the end! They don't win in the end! So all this fear bull crap is that. It is bull crap. Say amen. I know you've never been to a church where a pastor told you to say amen after I said bull crap. It's better than what I want to say. I call it real BS. Biblical stupidity. Biblical stupidity. So I know I wasn't going to say nothing about it, but I think I feel froggy enough. I'm going to jump right now and just say this. I am not apologizing for what I said on this platform last week. The Delta variant was nonsense then. It is nonsense now. You will not wear masks in this church. You will not wear masks in this church. I'm telling you right now, do not get vaccinated. Do not get vaccinated. I don't care what you think about me. I don't need your money. I don't need your hand clap. I don't need more people on social media to follow me. I ain't following along with it. Joe Biden's days are numbered. I said they're numbered. I've told you the whole time this election was fraudulent. We got so much proof. The only people that can deny it are crack-smoking, demon-possessed leftists. Whoa, I'm about to tear this whole pulpit in half.
Goodness gracious. I don't think that's the spirit of the Lord running through his veins. I think that's the spirit of cocaine. Because goddamn does that dude have way too much energy. That was difficult to watch. So there's a lot of stuff to say here. I mean, first point is, I wince thinking about how many people in the country agree with that and think this guy's nailing it across the board. I shudder at that thought. There is some percentage of the country that thinks this guy's like a truth teller and he's keeping it real and he's mirroring the way that they feel about everything. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's run through it. It's funny because at the beginning he says bull crap and then he thought that was like really edgy. And he points out like, bet you never heard a pastor say that before, huh? Huh? Like, okay, dude, congrats, you're special. You said bull crap as if that's, somehow really counterculture of you. Then he calls it BS, biblical stupidity. Well, I mean, this for sure is biblical stupidity, but not in the way that you think it is. He thinks his detractors are biblically stupid. No, he is being stupid and is biblically stupid just because the stuff he believes is incredibly stupid and he's massive and he's a fundamentalist Christian. Then comes the biggest part here, or one of the biggest parts. He says, Delta variant was nonsense then, it's nonsense now. I just read a story yesterday about there's this guy who, kind of overweight guy, heavyset guy, and he dragged his feet getting the vaccine. He didn't end up getting the vaccine. He was sort of on the fence about whether or not to get it. And then right before he took his last breaths, he said in the hospital, I should have just got that fucking vaccine. I should have just gotten it. And now he's got a bunch of kids, little kids, that are going to grow up without a father because he dragged his feet on it. Now, understand something. There's actually new numbers that just came out yesterday. I'll see if I could pull them up as I'm chatting with you. I saw them in Axios. But now we're talking about a pandemic of the unvaccinated. That's what's happening. We have a pandemic of the unvaccinated. So even though we have a situation where vaccinated people can spread the virus to others in what's called breakthrough cases, number one, those numbers are low. Number two, the overwhelming majority of the time, if you've been vaccinated and you're spreading the virus to other people, you are asymptomatic, so you're not really showing any symptoms at all, or you basically have a case of the sniffles or super, super mild symptoms. So the vaccine is kicking the ass of COVID, but you're still able to spread it to other people. So that's the new thing that we've learned, is that, you know, there are these breakthrough cases where vaccinated people could spread it to others, but a lot of people are misreading these headlines and this fact as if it's the case that the vaccine just doesn't work. No, the vaccine is doing its job to protect you, but it's still the case that in some cases, small percentage, you can still pass it to others even if you've been vaccinated. And I'm looking for the Axios headline. Here it is. Okay, boom. Here we go. Of the 164 million vaccinated Americans, less than 0.1% have been infected with the coronavirus. Less than 0.1%. And 0.001% have died. That's amazing. 0.004% have been hospitalized. So in other words, if you get the vaccine, the overwhelming majority of the time you're going to be totally fine, and it saves you and it helps you. This is now the people who are getting severe illness, who are hospitalized, who are dying, it's all a pandemic of the unvaccinated now. So to hear this guy say this, Delta variant was nonsense then, it's nonsense now. If people listen to this, granted, I don't know how many people follow this guy. I'd be surprised if it's a lot. But if you hear this in right-wing, pulpits throughout the country, that's not good. A lot of people are going to get sick and maybe die as a result of it. And then the other part that just drives me crazy is he says the Delta variant was nonsense then, it's nonsense now. Then he says you will not wear masks in this church. So not only is he saying I'm not going to wear a mask to protect myself, and we know he's unvaccinated as well, he's saying you will not wear a mask in this church. So this is like, now I'm going to impose my dumb beliefs on you. Well, what happened to freedom? I thought you guys said you believe in freedom and you believe in choice when it comes to this issue of vaccinations and how to handle the virus. Turns out you don't. You want to be tyrannical and you want to be dictatorial on the wrong side of it. On the wrong side. Again, quote, you will not wear masks in this church. So, I mean, listen, I think it makes sense to wear the masks because if you're not vaccinated, it can maybe save you and help you. If you are vaccinated, it'll prevent you from spreading it to others indoors. So it's dumb, but if you decide for just yourself, I'm not vaccinated and I don't want to wear the mask, then you're taking a risk with your own life, so it's really on you. But if you're telling other people now, you will not wear masks in this church, well, now you're just spreading these dangerous ideas to everybody else. And he talks about not getting vaccinated. I mean, the evidence is overwhelming that these vaccines are working. I mean, even with this Delta variant, 97% protection. So you will not, it's super unlikely. 97% successful against severe illness and hospitalization and death. So that's colossal protection. Colossal protection. I mean, these people are now, not only are they hurting themselves, they're hurting others who might agree with them politically. And then finally, Joe Biden's days are numbered, he said. Now, first I heard that, I'm like, is he saying Biden's going to die soon? But no, he went on to say the election was fraudulent. We've got so much proof that only crack-smoking, demon-possessed liberals or leftists wouldn't acknowledge it. There were over 60 court cases on this stuff, and Trump lost virtually every single one. So who's denying the evidence? Who's denying the proof? We're in fucking August, for the love of God. But they really think this is, what, attempt number 7 or 8 where they say Trump's going to be reinstated. Not happening, dog. Not happening. He says proof. Proof from who? The MyPillow guy who's pulling stuff out of his asshole? And they really believe it. So look at all the things. Matt, not only is he anti-vaccine, he's also anti-mask, and he also thinks Donald Trump is going to get back in office. So I come full circle to my original point. Guys, what percentage of the population is thinking like this? Is it 20% of the public that listens to this? 2 out of every 10 people listen to this, and they're like, this guy's keeping it real? That's a terrible thought. Seems like we're growing the number of TFGs by the day. This is disturbing. This is disturbing. I mean, it doesn't matter what I say to people who are this set in their beliefs, but for the love of God, try to be objective. Try to follow the evidence. And just don't get these partisan Trumpist brainworms, because you're living on another planet if you believe any of this stuff, any of it at all. And it's probably not a coincidence that this stemmed from fundamentalist religious thinking, that this is the kind of person who we're dealing with. And you see the other logical consequences of having fundamentalist religious thinking. You end up thinking vaccines are nonsense, masks are nonsense, and Trump is going to be reinstated even though Biden's already been president for a long time. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.